On the day Trump was elected, fake news gathered round. They all begin to wonder how Orange Man beat him down. Fake news spoke up. They should have left POTUS alone. By then they should have known that he was bad to the bone. 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 Y'all heard it. POTUS is bad to the bone. That's right. They're always talking about Orange Man bad. Well, yeah, he's bad, all right. Bad to the bone. Do. Bad to the bone. Now, welcome to Kevin's Corner, where I try to make sense out of nonsense. And there's a lot of nonsense to make going on right about now around this country here. And I need to cover some of it real quick. First things first. This whole weekend, we've been hearing that President Trump bucked heads with Dr. Fauci. And CNN happened to run a clip of Dr. Fauci. You see, this is where it all went wrong. First things first, you never do interviews with CNN. That's something you just don't do. And Dr. Fauci decided to go on there knowing that their whole purpose for bringing anybody on their show, if they're not just being brought on to attack the president, then their goal is to switch up the words, take stuff out of context, stuff like that, to, of course, make it appear that what that person said was either a lie or they said something totally different than what they really said. So Dr. Fauci goes on there and he makes some comments based on a hypothetical, and they run this clip all weekend. You've been hearing that President Trump bucked heads with all of his advisors up front and didn't do things timely enough concerning this whole situation that's going on around the United States. Now, I wonder, wait a minute, is that what really happened? So President Trump decided, I'm not going to take it laying down. I'm not going to do what a lot of other presidents might do, which is say, well, that's just the media being the media. No, he's not going to take it. So what he did is he fired back, and they didn't like it. They didn't like it at all. First things first, yesterday, Dr. Fauci comes out and corrects this whole narrative that President Trump didn't listen to him up front. Let's listen to this.
The other point I wanted to make is that I had an interview yesterday that I was asked a hypothetical question.
Okay.
And hypothetical questions sometimes can get you into some difficulty because it's what would have or could have. The nature of the hypothetical question was if, in fact, we had mitigated earlier, could lives have been saved? And the answer to my question was, as I always do, and I'm doing right now, perfectly honestly say, yes. I mean, obviously, if mitigation helps, I've been up here many times telling you that mitigation works.
Now, see, he's talking about a hypothetical, but he's talking about it because he went on fake news CNN. And their goal is never to just say, I'm just here to get some input. And so we could dispense this helpful information to the audience so they'll be more informed. They're there trying to get you. They're there trying to set up this conflict between Dr. Fauci and President Trump to make Trump seem like he is incompetent or he didn't take the advice of all of his advisors, things like that. Dr. Fauci was just an innocent victim. He didn't realize how fake the news really was. He just went under trying to be a good guy, and look what happened. So now he's correcting it, and look what happens afterwards.
So if mitigation works and you instigate it and you initiate it earlier, you will probably have saved more lives.
True.
If you initiated it later, you probably would have lost more lives.
There you go.
You initiated at a certain time. That was taken as a way that maybe somehow something was at fault here.
What?
So let me tell you from my experience,
Okay.
and I can only speak from my own experience, is that we had been talking before any meetings that we had.
Now,
about
let me get to this part.
Clarify, because I didn't have the chance to clarify.
Now, listen to this CNN report.
You know, to be honest with you, I don't even remember what the date was, but I can just tell you the first and only time that I went in and said we should do mitigation strongly, the response was, yes, we'll do it.
And what did you do? Is that the travel restrictions?
No, the travel restriction is separate. That was whether or not we wanted to go into a mitigation stage of 15 days of mitigation.
Right.
The travel was another recommendation when we went in and said we probably should be doing that, and the answer was yes.
There you have it. So now, President Trump, when they all talked, he jumped in and started action. That's what he did. Okay. And then the travel restrictions came up and he made that call way before anybody else thought that he should have made the call. And now she's going back down the timeline trying to see if Dr. Fauci is saying what he is saying and if it's accurate. She's asking some questions. She's digging a little bit. Let's see what he says.
And then another time was we should do it with Europe. And the answer was yes. And the next time we should do it with the UK.
Right.
And the answer was yes.
Okay.
In this interview, you said there was pushback.
Yeah.
Where did that pushback come from?
No, it wasn't. That was the wrong choice of words. You know what it was? When people discuss, not necessarily in front of the president, when people discuss, they say, well, you know, this is going to have maybe a harmful effect on this or on that.
Now, instead of asking that question when he was being interviewed by, I don't know who it was, it might have been Jake Tapp or one of those fake news commentators, instead of asking him right there on the set when he mentioned, well, yeah, we talked about it, I mean, but at that time it was a little pushback, he should have asked him right there, well, what do you mean by pushback and who was doing the pushing? But no, they went ahead and inferred or inserted their own belief of who was pushing back against that. First of all, they assumed that it was legitimate pushback, meaning not a discussion, but pushback where they said, no, Dr. Fauci, we're not doing that. That's crazy. What do you mean we're going to? That is simply saying, now, wait a minute, you're talking about shutting down the whole government. I mean, you think that's a good idea? Let's go ahead and talk about this and talk about the pros and cons. Instead of saying, you know what, we're not doing that over my dead body. So that's what CNN wanted people to take away from the interview. Now, a CNN commentator is trying to drill it down with Dr. Fauci and, you know, kind of dig out some information to try to still push their narrative. Let's hear what Dr. Fauci says.
So it was a poor choice of words. There wasn't anybody saying, no, you shouldn't do that.
Are you doing this voluntarily or did
No, I'm doing it. Everything I do is voluntarily. Please, don't even imply that.
There you go. So now, after he gives the answers that she didn't like, her response was, are you doing this voluntarily? Or do she think that somebody backstage, CIA, FBI, maybe the Secret Service, is sitting there with a red beam on his head talking about, so you better get your butt out there and say what he told you to say. Is that what she thinks? I mean, the nerve of this lady saying something to that nature is unbelievable. Asking that type of question is offensive, and you could hear it in Dr. Fauci's voice. Now, hopefully, Dr. Fauci is getting a crash course in fake news. Hopefully now he understands that there are entities out there that are not working on behalf of the people, but instead trying to push a narrative. And then Donald Trump, being bad to my bone, came out with this video that exposed him. Let's see how the fake news reacted after this. Oh, this is great. This is great.
A few clips that we're just going to put up. We can turn the lights a little bit lower. I think you'll find them interesting. And then we'll answer some questions. I'll ask you some questions because you're so guilty, but forget
Love it. See, now, this is what they're not ready for. They're not ready for a president that's fighting back. They want a punching bag. That's what they want. See, like I said in my other videos, every boxer is real sweet when they hitting the speed bag. You know what I'm saying? They hitting the speed bag because the speed bag don't hit back. Yeah, every football player is a tough guy when they hitting the pads, you know, popping recoil. They're tough guys. When there's another human on the other side swinging back, now you get exposed. And President Trump is about to expose them, and they're not ready. They're used to hitting the heavy bag, and nobody's hitting back. That's right. And so now he's going to dish out their own words to them as they're trying to paint this narrative that Donald Trump set on things and let this all just unfold. And at the last minute, like maybe we should do something about this. How many people you said are dead? A couple thousand? Well, we better do something. That's not what happened. And unfortunately, their audiences don't know it. Why wouldn't their audiences know that? We're about to find out.
But most importantly, we're going to get back onto the reason we're here, which is the success we're having. Okay? Please, you can put it up.
How worried should Americans be about coronavirus?
Coronavirus is not going to cause a major issue in the United States.
No problem. Now, the president took all this action.
Well, we've asked them to accelerate whatever they're doing in terms of a vaccine.
We are cutting into what was not a White House coronavirus task force briefing. I am Ari Melber. Our special coverage continues. We are going to avoid airing any more of this White House briefing until it returns to what it was supposed to be, which was the coronavirus task force providing.
So wait a minute. Let me get this straight. They show a montage of all of these liberal networks getting up there saying that the coronavirus was not a threat. Nobody was in danger. They were downplaying it. They were attacking the president concerning his reaction to it, all of that stuff. And now when he brings it up and tries to show it in a montage, these networks that are supposed to be covering him decide to cut away. Why do you think they did that, people? I wonder why. Could it be that they don't want their audiences to see them using fake news, fake narratives, and propaganda to try to paint a narrative that President Trump is incompetent and not handling things? Probably that. So they cut away from the President of the United States to cover their own tails, knowing that their audience, unfortunately, gets a heavy dose of fake news all day long and isn't going to go and find all of these clips of the very same people that's telling them that President Trump don't know what he's doing, he's incompetent, he waited too late, all of this stuff. These same people did the same thing and then accused him of overreacting in the beginning. Why wouldn't they want their audiences to see that? I'm just wondering. Let's hear some more of the fake news and what they did during this presentation.
Medical information. What we just saw, I want to be very clear with viewers, was a video the White House put out which suggests they are spending their precious time right now making videos that defend the president.
So the way that they try to cover this and spin it is that President Trump, this video, forget about the content of the video. Forget about all of the people we brought on our show saying what they said and downplaying it. Forget about us contradicting ourselves and being hypocrites. Forget all that stuff. We want you to focus on the fact that obviously they're doing this video during the time where they should be working on the coronavirus stuff. Actually, that video does help when it comes down to working on the coronavirus stuff. Why would it help? Well, because information to people are crucial. So instead of making all of these Americans think that ain't nothing going on and stuff isn't getting done, this video clarifies it, and they don't like that. They don't want their audiences to know that the administration is getting things done and they're lying to them. So instead of saying, well, yeah, we've been pushing propaganda and lying to you all and deceiving you all with fake news, we're just going to make it appear that obviously President Trump and all of them, instead of working on real stuff, they're making propaganda videos. Ironic, considering these are propaganda networks, but let's continue.
Record and tenure rather than provide the much needed emergency medical information that was promised.
So I've never seen a video like that played in this room.
I give you hundreds of clips just like that. We have them.
So this was produced by government employees, by people here at the White House, this campaign style.
I would use the word produce. All they did was...
okay. So it was produced by people in the White House, this campaign style video. Now they're trying to push this narrative that this was a campaign promotional video. No, it was an exposure video. That's what it was. It wasn't promoting Trump's campaign to try to get reelected in November. This video was exposing the fake news and what they're trying to do concerning pushing propaganda for this narrative of the coronavirus.
Took some clips and they just ran them for you. The press has not treated these incredible people who've done such a great job. They haven't treated them fairly.
Not at all.
They're way off. We were way ahead of schedule.
The middle of March, you closed it down earlier.
I closed down from China. Excuse me. I closed it down from China.
You bought yourself some time. You didn't use it to prepare hospitals. You didn't use it to
Now look at all these rebuttals. Closed down in March, and you bought yourself some. All of these little comebacks, and especially this lady from CNN. She's acting like an unruly child who is disrespecting the president of the United States as he's trying to respond to her question. She wants to interrupt him and keep it going. Hopefully get him out of his game, make him real mad. He'll say something to her that she'll redirect the whole conversation to the fact that the president is angry, he's attacking me, and it's probably because I'm a woman, and he's a misogynist. That's what it is. So now CNN and all these other fake networks go into crisis mode by all these stupid follow-up questions, okay? Expecting the president to have done more. Now, he brings up some practical things by asking, okay, when this first started, we had one case in the United States. Did you expect me to shut down the whole government for one case? Imagine if he would have did that. You know, they would have went crazy. This man's ruining the whole economy for one case of corona. He's overreacting. This is great. This is madness. This is impulsive Trump behavior. Now they're acting as if he should have done way more, you know. So listen to the rest of this and watch how they change the narratives at the bottom of their headlines on CNN, MSNBC. It doesn't read Trump shows video that exposes us for our lying and our fake news. Let's listen.
About testing. Right now,
You're so disgraceful.
Unemployed.
It's so disgraceful that you say that. I just went over it.
Wait a minute. Here it is. Trump uses, let's see, says Trump uses something, I can't get this out the way. It says, Trump uses brief video to try to rewrite history on corona response. That's what that was? Rewriting history. I thought it was accurate information talking about how these governors said Trump was doing a wonderful job. His timeline responding to the coronavirus was great. And how the fake news was all saying the opposite of what they're saying now. But yet their headline is he's rewriting history. What else did they say?
Or this rant supposed to make people
I just went over
in an unprecedented crisis?
No,
how is this rant supposed to make people confident in this type of crisis? So basically, she's saying that it's a rant. First of all, I don't call it a rant. I call it exposure. Secondly, it makes me very much feel confident in this time because if you don't see the fake news and what they're doing, you might think nothing's getting done, that the White House is asleep at the wheel. But now when you watch the video, you see that they've been doing stuff all alone, and it should bring down their anxiety level. But she don't want that. She want people feeling with this anxiety, talking about Trump's no good. He's doing bad stuff to us. Let's continue.
Nobody thought we should do it. And when I did it...
But what did you do with the time that you got?
You know
the
what we did?
month of February. Was a gap.
What do you do?
Month of February.
What do you do when you have no case in the whole United States?
So another narrative. Trump, something says he doesn't make mistakes, something stupid like that. They got some letters over it, so I can't really see it. But bottom line is, as they're talking, this is what they're showing on their network. They're trying to make it appear that everything Trump is saying and doing is the opposite of what he did, and they cut that out. They didn't want their audience to see the montage of their tomfoolery. So now they're building this narrative as their reporter is attacking Trump. I'm sure somebody's in her ear like, all right, we went ahead and cut away during the exposure of us being fake news. Now, go on the defense. See if we can, on the offense, see if you can rattle them. Okay, let's continue.
When you reported it. 0 cases, 0 deaths on January 17th.
February, the entire
January, I said in January.
The video has a complete gap.
On January 30th.
What did your administration do in February for the time that you're
Now, she doesn't want answers. Here she is. She's just talking over it. As he's talking, she's just talking and throwing back stuff. See, this is that person that's already 2 or 3 answers ahead. They don't even listen to what you're saying. So as you're telling them, they're going, that's cool and all, but here's what I want to get out. This is the narrative. This isn't a dialogue. This right here is her trying to push a narrative, or even perhaps get the president to lose his cool. So then the narrative that whole night, Trump loses it at White House meeting. Let's continue.
A lot.
Look at that. Angry Trump turns briefing into propaganda session. That's the headline under the CNN video right here during the press conference. Angry Trump turns briefing into propaganda session. He doesn't seem angry to me. What he seems is frustrated by the fact that just what's happening. Fake news are trying to paint a fake narrative. That's what's really going on.
We'll give you a list. What we did, in fact, part of it was up there. We did a lot. Look. You know you're a fake. You know that. Your whole network, the way you cover it, is fake. Why did Biden apologize? Why did he write a letter of apology?
Right now, care.
No, that's very important.
Didn't apologize.
Why did the Democrats think that we really have done this right? The problem is the press doesn't cover it the way it should be. Go ahead. One more question, Steve. Go ahead.
And there you have it. So President Trump rips him up yesterday because he's bad to the bone, and they couldn't take it. So what did they do? Took their ball and bat and went home by cutting away during the press conference and adding their own subtitles to try to rewrite the narrative instead of allowing that press conference to expose what they really are, which is fake news. And if they ain't going to expose it, well, dang it, I will. So the president fighting back because he's bad to the bone, bad to the bone, bad to the bone. Hey, don't forget to check me out every Wednesday night live, 7:30 in Kevin's Corner on YouTube, Facebook, and my radio blog talk show. I might even go live on an off night too, considering the coronavirus got everybody shut down. Check out Extreme Teas, my sponsor. If you like something, make sure you put Kevin in the promo code. You get a 20% discount. The link's below this video. And what else? Let's see. Oh, if you want to donate to Kevin in Kevin's Corner, feel free. There's a link below to do that as well. And you can follow me on Facebook, YouTube, and Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Don't forget to hit like, share, subscribe, and the notification button. Make sure you're still subscribed and your notifications are set to all. Okay, God bless. See you next time in Kevin's Corner.